The sun was just starting to rise over the small city. Its golden light stretched across the streets, waking up the town. People were already rushing about, hurrying to work, grabbing their morning drinks, and getting ready for the busy day ahead. Among them was a simple man wearing a flannel shirt and jeans. He wasn't someone anyone would notice at first glance. His name was Nathaniel Brooks, but today no one would know he was the CEO of Brooks SMT, a company he had built from the ground up. Today, he was just another customer, blending in with the crowd. He had started this company with only one store, and over time it grew into a successful chain. But lately, Nathaniel had been hearing worrying things. Complaints about poor service, about employees being treated unfairly, about the company feeling less like a family. Nathaniel wanted to see what was really happening with his own eyes. He didn't want to rely on reports or meetings. So he dressed down in casual clothes, left his luxury car behind, and walked into one of his stores like any other customer. The moment he stepped inside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee and warm pastries greeted him. It was comforting, like a familiar hug. The shelves were neatly stocked, everything organized perfectly. The store felt clean and welcoming. The quiet sounds of customers moving around mixed with the soft chatter of employees helping shoppers. At first, everything seemed normal. But Nathaniel knew better than to trust appearances alone. He believed true character showed in people's actions and how they treated others, especially when no one was watching. As he made his way to the checkout, he watched the employees carefully. Most of them looked tired, going through the motions. Their smiles seemed forced, and their eyes told stories of long days and hard work that went unnoticed. He could feel the weight of their frustration in the quiet moments between customers and the tired looks they gave the aisles. Then he heard it, a sharp, cruel voice at the register. "You think you're going to get a raise? Please. People like you should be thankful to even have a job." Nathaniel froze. His breath caught in his throat. His hands clenched tightly until his knuckles turned white. His heart was pounding so loudly, it felt like it was echoing in his ears. A wave of anger rushed through him, but he stayed calm. Slowly, he turned to see what was happening. At the register stood a young cashier named Derek. He looked barely out of his teens, his head down, his uniform a bit loose on him. His name tag read, Derek. Across from him was another employee, a shift supervisor named Brian. Brian had a smug grin on his face. His words hung in the air like a slap. Nathaniel watched as Derek swallowed hard, trying not to show his feelings. "I work hard," Derek said quietly. "I do my job well." Brian laughed coldly. "Hard work means nothing when you're replaceable." Nathaniel felt fire ignite inside him. He had built his company on respect and the belief that every employee mattered. Hard work and honesty should always be rewarded. He had started as a stock boy himself, working long nights to earn every success. He knew what it meant to struggle. Now standing there and watching this disrespect, he realized he couldn't just stand by anymore. It was time to act. He stepped forward. "I'd like to speak to the manager," he said firmly. Brian barely glanced at him. Yeah, get in line." Nathaniel didn't move. He stood his ground, his voice calm but strong. Something in his tone made Brian hesitate. Rolling his eyes, Brian called the store manager, Lisa. Lisa approached with a polite but distant smile. "How can I help you, sir?" Nathaniel took a deep breath. This was it. "I'd like to introduce myself," he said. "My name is Nathaniel Brooks." Silence fell. Lisa's smile faltered. Brian's face went pale. "I own this company," Nathaniel said. Whispers spread through the store. Employees exchanged wide-eyed looks. Derek's mouth hung open in shock.
Nathaniel turned to Brian. "I just heard everything you said," Brian stammered. I was just... "No," Nathaniel interrupted. "No excuses, no lies. I heard you belittle an employee and make him feel small. That is not who we are." Brian's confidence broke. He opened his mouth, but Nathaniel wasn't done. This company was built on respect, on hard work, and on treating people with dignity. Nathaniel's voice stayed firm. "You are a disgrace to that." Brian lowered his head, knowing he had no defense. "You're fired," Nathaniel said. The room felt heavy. Brian looked around, hoping someone would speak for him, but no one did. He turned and left, his arrogance gone, his power stripped away. Nathaniel then faced Derek. "What's your position here?" "Just a cashier, sir," Derek replied softly. "No," Nathaniel said. "Not just. You are an important part of this store. Starting today, you're being promoted." Tears filled Derek's eyes. "Really?"
Nathaniel nodded. "I've seen how hard you work. People like you deserve to be recognized." The store erupted in applause. Smiles spread. Some whispered excitedly. Hope was returning. Nathaniel turned to Lisa. "This store needs a culture change. Starting now, I want employees to feel valued. Work should be a place of respect, not fear." Lisa nodded quickly. "Yes, Mr. Brooks, I understand." Nathaniel took a deep breath. He had come undercover to find the truth. What he found was both heartbreaking and inspiring. There was still work to do, but today a message had been sent. As Nathaniel left the store that day, he felt a mixture of emotions swirling inside him. There was pain from seeing how his employees were treated, but also hope from witnessing their strength and resilience. Derek's new confidence was a shining example of what could happen when people are recognized and appreciated. But Nathaniel knew this one store was just the beginning. The problems he had seen might exist in other locations too. He couldn't let this go unnoticed or unchecked. His company was more than just a business. It was supposed to be a family, and families took care of each other. Over the next few weeks, Nathaniel visited more of his stores. He dressed casually every time, blending in with customers so employees wouldn't recognize him. Each visit brought new stories, some heartbreaking, others inspiring. At one store, he saw employees working hard but still feeling invisible. At another, he witnessed staff being praised and supported, creating a friendly, positive atmosphere. The difference was clear. Where respect and kindness were priorities, the whole store thrived. Nathaniel began meeting with managers and supervisors, sharing what he had learned. He talked openly about the importance of respect and dignity, making it clear that mistreatment would no longer be tolerated. He emphasized that every person mattered, from the cashier to the stock boy to the store manager. To help, Nathaniel introduced new policies. These policies protected employees from unfair treatment and created clear paths for growth and recognition. Wages were increased to better reward hard work. Leadership training programs were started to help managers become better mentors and supporters. Nathaniel didn't want to just punish those who had been cruel or careless. He wanted to build a better future, a culture where everyone felt valued and motivated. At one meeting, an employee spoke up about feeling overlooked despite years of dedication. Nathaniel listened carefully and promised to create opportunities for people like her. He wanted every employee to feel seen and heard. As time passed, the changes began to take root. Stores that had once struggled with low morale started to buzz with energy and pride. Employees shared their successes and supported each other. Derek, once just a quiet cashier, became a store supervisor. His story inspired others. He worked hard, encouraged his teammates, and showed that anyone could rise through dedication and honesty. Nathaniel's leadership style was clear: lift others up, and success will follow. He traveled from city to city, ensuring that respect and kindness were at the heart of every location. The company evolved beyond profits and numbers. It became a place where people could grow, learn, and feel part of something bigger. Nathaniel also started mentorship programs. Experienced employees helped new hires find their path. Teamwork and encouragement replaced fear and silence. The change was not easy or quick. There were setbacks and challenges. Some resisted the new ways, clinging to old habits. But Nathaniel remained steady and patient. Employees who had once felt invisible now found their voices. They shared ideas and worked together to improve their stores. The sense of community grew stronger. Stories of Nathaniel's visits spread among employees. People talked about how their CEO cared deeply and took action. They saw him not just as a boss, but as a leader who understood their struggles. One day, Derek stood taller than ever before. He smiled with pride, knowing his hard work was noticed and appreciated. His journey from cashier to leader showed what was possible with respect and support. Nathaniel watched these changes with satisfaction, but he knew his mission was far from over. He continued traveling to different stores, holding meetings, listening to concerns, and taking action. Every location mattered. Every employee mattered. He believed leadership wasn't about power or control. It was about respect and kindness. True success came from lifting others up, not tearing them down. Nathaniel often reminded his team, treat people with kindness because you never know who's watching. His company was becoming more than just a place to work. It was becoming a family, a community, a home. And that was the legacy he wanted to leave behind. Months passed, and Nathaniel's mission to change the company culture deepened with every visit. What started as a personal undercover journey became a company-wide transformation that touched the lives of hundreds of employees. Every store Nathaniel visited showed small but important signs of progress. In places where employees once walked through their shifts silently, there was now chatter, laughter, and a sense of camaraderie. Employees who used to hide their frustrations were now sharing ideas and working together to improve their workplaces. One day, Nathaniel found himself in a small town store that had struggled for years. As he stepped inside, he immediately felt the difference. The air buzzed with energy, and genuine smiles greeted him. It was a place where people looked like they wanted to be, engaged, hopeful, and proud. Lisa, the store manager, met Nathaniel at the door. When he first came to the store, she had been nervous and uncertain. But after embracing the new values of respect and teamwork, Lisa blossomed into a confident leader. She shared how her team held weekly meetings, where everyone could speak openly, share concerns, and celebrate victories, big and small. Nathaniel walked through the aisles with Lisa, noticing the neat shelves, the helpful employees, and the happy customers. He saw how the culture change had shifted the store's spirit. This wasn't just a place to shop. It was a community hub. At the back office, Nathaniel met with Derek. From a shy, quiet cashier, Derek had grown into a respected store supervisor. He spoke openly about his journey, how the company's support and recognition had given him the confidence to believe in himself. He told Nathaniel about the obstacles he had overcome, the long hours, and moments when he doubted if he could make it. Nathaniel listened carefully. He knew Derek's story wasn't unique. Many employees had untold stories of struggle, hope, and resilience. This was why the company's culture mattered so much. It could make or break a person's life. Not every story was easy. Some employees still felt unsure, worried about their futures, or unsure if they belonged. Nathaniel promised to help them. He worked with his leadership team to develop more training programs. mentorship opportunities, and support systems to help every employee grow. He realized changing a culture wasn't a quick fix. It was a journey requiring patience, empathy, and ongoing attention. Every conversation, every decision mattered. To keep the progress moving forward, Nathaniel set up a company-wide feedback system. Employees at all levels could share their thoughts anonymously. Leaders used this feedback to understand what was working and where improvement was needed. Nathaniel made sure that no voice went unheard, that every concern was taken seriously. This approach transformed the company. It was no longer just a business chasing profits. It was a family focused on people. Employees felt valued, heard, and proud. Customers noticed the difference too. From the friendly greetings to the helpful service, shopping at Brooks SMT felt warm and welcoming. Nathaniel also reached beyond his stores, partnering with local organizations to offer employees chances for further education, skills training, and personal growth. He believed in investing in his people's futures, not just their present jobs. Throughout this process, Nathaniel's definition of leadership became clearer. It wasn't about holding power or giving orders. It was about serving others, lifting people up, and helping them become their best selves. He often told his leadership team, "True leaders listen first. Success comes when we help others succeed." His words became a daily reminder for everyone at Brooks SMT. Stories of the company's transformation spread beyond the stores. Employees shared their experiences with friends and family, inspiring others to join the company. Derek, once a quiet cashier, was now a mentor guiding new hires. He reminded them that with hard work, integrity, and support, they too could rise. Nathaniel's vision was coming true, a company built on respect, kindness, and opportunity. Though challenges remained, the foundation was strong and growing stronger every day. As Nathaniel continued his journey, visiting stores, meeting employees, and listening to their stories, he remained committed to the belief that respect and kindness could change lives and build a brighter future for everyone. Nathaniel's journey to reshape his company culture had been long and full of challenges, but every step forward filled him with hope and determination. With each store visit, he saw the difference respect and kindness made. The stores were no longer just places to buy products. They were communities where employees felt valued and customers felt welcome. One afternoon, Nathaniel walked into a busy store. The energy was different, lighter, more positive. Employees smiled genuinely as they helped customers, and the teamwork was clear. Shelves were well stocked, the aisles were clean, and the atmosphere was inviting. It was the kind of place where people wanted to be. Nathaniel spoke with the store manager, Lisa, who shared how the culture shift had changed everything. Employees no longer feared speaking up. They shared ideas and concerns openly. There was a spirit of support and encouragement. Mistreatment was no longer tolerated, and promotions were based on dedication and integrity, not favoritism or fear. Hearing this made Nathaniel proud, but he also knew the work was ongoing. Some employees still felt uncertain or overlooked. He promised to keep listening and working to make sure everyone felt included and respected. To help strengthen the new culture, Nathaniel expanded mentorship programs throughout the company. Experienced employees, like Derek, helped new hires learn the ropes and grow their skills. This created a sense of family where everyone had a chance to succeed and contribute. Derek, once a shy cashier, had become a role model and mentor. He encouraged his teammates to work hard, stay honest, and believe in themselves. His story inspired many within the company, showing that respect and opportunity could change lives. Nathaniel's belief that kindness and respect lead to success was proving true. Customers noticed the difference too. They returned because they felt welcomed, valued and appreciated. Still, Nathaniel faced challenges. Changing long-held habits and mindsets wasn't easy. Some managers struggled to embrace the new way of leading, and occasional setbacks reminded him that progress required patience. But Nathaniel stayed focused. He reminded his leadership team, being a boss isn't about giving orders. It's about caring for the people you lead. He encouraged them to listen, support, and inspire their teams. As he reflected on his journey, Nathaniel realized the true measure of leadership wasn't profits or titles, but the lives touched and the hope given. He was changing not only his company, but also the futures of those who worked there. Walking through another store one day, Nathaniel saw employees working with pride and confidence. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing his choice to lead, with heart, was making a lasting difference. He knew that lifting others up was the greatest power a leader could have, a power that created a better workplace, a stronger community, and a brighter future. With every step forward, Nathaniel's vision was clear. Brooks SMT would be a place where everyone mattered, where respect was the foundation, and where success was shared by all.